the Roaring Twenties. A time for success and good fortune. World War I just ended, and America was the new superpower. Social change and political change. With a strong economy and booming industry, Americans were moving off the farms, but by cows, for a life in the city. It was the beginning of a new era. The 18th Amendment brought a new time period in American history. January 16, 1920, Prohibition made the making, distribution, and consumption of alcohol illegal in the United States.
By 1931, Al Capone was at the top of his game. He had no real rivals anymore among Chicago's mobsters, and he continued to expand his empire in case Prohibition was repealed. He took over labor unions, chauffeurs, plumbers, city workers, motion picture projectionists, soda pop peddlers, kosher poultry dealers.
Alcohol was believed to bring poverty, crime, made people go crazy, and caused marriages to break up. The labor unions were not well received by the people. Often they were viewed as revolutionists and communists by the media. The police, the steel mills, and the coal miners all went on strikes for better wages. The 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution becomes official, and women aged 21 years and older now have the right to vote. Women in the 1920s played a huge role in the history of women's rights and equality in America. Soon women began to symbolize their independence. They were called flappers. Jazz music emerged thanks to the Harlem Renaissance. During the Harlem Renaissance, African American achievements in art, music, and literature flourished.
Throughout the 1920s, Harlem experienced a cultural and intellectual explosion that became known as the Harlem Renaissance. Who was involved in the Harlem Renaissance? What was the ultimate impact? Harlem is a neighborhood in New York City which has a very large African American community. Harlem became a destination for African Americans throughout the early 1900s as part of the Great Migration.
This was a very big time for law and order in the United States. One of the biggest trials in the 1920s was the Sacco and Vanzetti case. But were they guilty or innocent? Many people believe that they were innocent, but they were convicted because of their immigration status and radical political beliefs. Sacco and Vanzetti were sent to the electric chair in 1927 for a double murder committed during the course of a payroll robbery. After a long series of appeals, they died protesting their innocence through the evidence suggests otherwise. Ballad of Sacco and Vanzetti. Impact the automobile was a changing moment for America. Workers could live miles from work, resulting in urban sprawl as cities spread in all directions. More and more factory jobs were opening up, and farmers were choosing to not work on their farms as they saw cities to have more opportunities for success. All in all, the 1920s was a great time for America.